So any other details that you kind of continue the study, or what other things have you been kind of moving on from those initial observations and trying to do more of?
Actually, our nurses, it became part of the culture, right?
Oh,
So
the
now
process.
it's part of the process into getting to the unit. So you need to put your mask, you need to go into the clean slate, wash your hands, and then you can take it. But they've taken it like steps further. They've thrown things in there, and it's like nobody parents, what they do, and I've seen them, is they take their phones, their keys, their
Yeah.
eyewear,
Even
the
toys, even toys.
uh, even toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's parents are good, but kids are cuter. So
Always.
when they take the little like doll into the clean slate because they want it clean and they put the doll and I'm like, "Oh my god." But nurses, I don't know, they took like a cheese cube thingy for stress.
Oh.
That's the only thing that I saw that came out of the clean slate looking kind of wonky. It kind of dipped a little bit and I was like, "What
Huh.
made you think about putting the cheese thing into the clean slate? We wanted it clean." I don't know. It got clean,
I
but
mean, maybe not in the way we wanted.
well,
Sure. Well, and to emphasize just how big this can be, on this picture here, we're just showing a little bit of, like, these are Rodak plates, which we use to incubate bacteria, and we take samples, we incubate them for a while, and we see what grows. The one on the left, hey, that's one that got cleaned with sample from a cleaned phone after the clean slate. Whereas the one on the right, that's what happens if you don't use a clean slate. So very, very dramatic effect. You can
yes.
begin to see all sorts of growth in various ways. It just looks nasty. Nobody wants to consume that. You're touching your phone and it's like that, guys. Better clean them up.
Yes.
Yeah, especially if we in our clinical environment. So that's really great to see. So, you know, you kind of just discovered the clean slate on your own, right? Or did how did that kind of proceed? And have you guys tried to, what more are you guys even thinking about with respect to either adopting UV or other types of things that will help you in the clinical environment cleaning your devices?
No, definitely. Now the clean slate is part of our hospital. We had it only in the oncology floor, but now we're thinking about, hey, what about the ED when the patient comes in?
Yep.
And we're adding one to our ED. And if the kid has a tablet and he's sick, maybe you want to clean it. And it's just an added bonus. But that way, glucometers,
Yep.
clean them. And you don't need to keep, you know, wiping and wiping, and it can be a one and done. And then after our cell phones, before I go to my house, it's easier to have it clean at least.
For sure.
So it's for everybody, it's not just for us. We want them to know that we think about their safety, and that here's a little machine that within 30 seconds you get a huge result. So we're trying to implement them within different clinical departments. We've seen the electroclave
Like,
Mhm.
for our tablets and stuff. So I think that's where we're headed. It's just having them accessible for everybody.
well, what one thing on that is that you got doctors that have asked for
Yeah.
your devices. So
Yeah.
besides, what happened is that now everybody knows how it works and it works. So now it's the boy has spread around that we got this equipment. Now the doctors want to move it around and how
Yeah. They want it in every single clinical department. And it's like,
That's
okay,
good.
it's
yeah,
good.
we'll help them, no doubt about it.
Yeah. All right.
So we're kind of going step by step. Let's do the ED. Let's try the PQ. Let's roll it out. But I from my vision, I see it in every door to every department.
So you sort of champion this idea of cleaning devices to your fellow nurses and your staff. And then it seems like this also kind of the excitement around that translates to the patients and also to the patient like families as well. Is that kind of how it proceeds, or do you find what other responses from the patients and from the patients' families have you seen that have been really positive?
I
Obviously, they're cleaning little devices, including toys.
We
But
will see how
how does it
much
make them
they
feel?
use it, but they feel safer.
Yeah.
We're doing transplants now, and in those cases, the mom and the kid has to be completely isolated for weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
But they think one step further, and let's think that the mom is isolated with the kid, and the dad is bringing up some stuff. He's not gonna see them. He's not gonna touch them, but he's cleaning his devices. If he's exchanging a tablet for the kid, that tablet is being cleaned before it enters the room. If it's keys, whatever, it's getting cleaned before it goes to the room because they trust that it's gonna be safer for the kid. So they love it. They adopted it. You see them use it time and time again. So I don't know how quickly we're gonna have to replace the UV lights, but I mean, it's something that you want to have.
Yeah.
That's a problem you want to get.
Well, we could definitely help you with that too. But and just to emphasize how frequently you guys have been able to use this is like we can take data from this
Yeah.
and we can export that back to you. It's part of our suite of opportunities and technologies that we can bring to you. And just to emphasize that, we the data that you guys have from the Puerto Rico facility is just massive. You guys have seen, over the course of just even a 30-day or 60-day study, thousands of uses of it, which is, on the order of potentially 10, 20, 30, 40 instances of use a day. So you guys are doing a lot, and it's really impressive to see how you guys have adopted this. Uh, so, you've obviously you're affecting behaviors. You're changing the way that people are thinking about this in your nurse environment. You're even thinking about the emerging technologies. You're considering other options and whatnot. You know, you're how do you even think about staying ahead of the risks that are involved in continuing your practice? Like this is I mean, you're so far ahead of thinking of the way a lot of people want to think about this. What sort of advice or philosophy would you like to kind of teach to others in how do you approach thinking about patient risk like this?
At least for me, in the nursing informatics, I think it's easier to prevent than to have to deal with a real
All out.
problem.
Yeah.
If I'm doing this now and it's ingrained in them that before you go into a patient room, you need to clean your device, I'm way less likely to get a cross contamination, infection. And that's what I want because once the patient has an infection, there's real costs out there and patient lives are at risk. So it's more of them, us as a culture, thinking about prevention. Let's not let this happen. Let's work now. We're good. We have good numbers. We're not seeing infections across the board that are, then if it's not scary now, let's keep it like that. And we have the devices, we have the technology. We want to implement more technology because Puerto Rico is just starting. We come here and this is Disney World for us, looking at all the possibilities, but we cannot bring 700 tablets without thinking who's going to clean them. How is that process going to be done? If I give it to the nurse without a clear instruction, is it's likely to be passed around room by room by room and never get cleaned. No, you have a station in your floor. It takes 30 seconds, I think it is.
Yeah.
And it fits two. We've tried it. It fits laptops. So it's easier. Just clean it and move on to the next patient.
Right. So all these things are preventable
Yes.
with just a little bit of action and a little bit of investment. So Eliezer, when you are observing the trends in hospitals and how they're proceeding, like, are you observing them proactively investing in these safer workflows? And what are you seeing that is either heartening or perhaps would you like to see improved upon?
As a trusted advisor, that's what we try to do. We always try to understand what are the issues of the hospitals, but you need to understand more than uh, traditional IT is more into what are the issues within the clinicians because at the end that's a direct hit to the patient. How you can help the outcomes, better outcomes for the patient. So you need to understand what are CMS quality measures on infection control. So you need to get into those insights to understand those things and then look outside on solutions that that will help the hospital. And then also you need to talk to the hospitals. You need to talk to the people and understand what are really issues are. So, and the key issue, so you can, based on your understanding, you are really bringing solutions. So there, it is, people need, industry, technology leaders need to understand what are out there that really will help them. It's you cannot sell by for sale. You need to sell something that really gonna help the hospital and at the end the patient.
So truly championing products that you believe in, that you know will actually make a difference. So we appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that. So guys, I want to thank you both for being part of this. This is great. And I want to give Digmary the final word here. So if you were wanting to leave, our audience here together, your team, as well as our listening audience later on, with some type of message regarding what do you feel is most important and significant about bringing nursing informatics to the hospital environment, what they can use and how they can leverage that to bring better patient outcomes. Give us a final word of kind of what would you want to teach us all?
First of all, leadership. Believe in your employees, believe in their potential, because I'm a product of that. And I will never stop saying it. I'm a product of great leaders. They believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. And that's why I'm here today.
It's great.
And for nurses, there's more out there. If you're feeling burned out, you can help in other ways. It's not just being by the bedside. That's really important, being with the patient, but we do help way, like a lot from where we are. And it's emerging. So it's the time to start learning what is technology, what it's needed, how can we find solutions to help other nurses that are starting, that in Puerto Rico, shortage of staff, it's like a huge thing. How can I make your life easier? How can I make the patient journey more enjoyable? How can I get you back to the bedside and being with that patient and talking and being human again, but having technology to assist with that? So it's an emerging field. It's just, getting out there and talking and learning. And for me, it's great. I love it. I love the position I'm at right now.
Well, I think we all can say we're very proud of you for what you've been able to
Thank you.
accomplish. So won't you all join me in giving a round of applause for our two guests here, Eliezer and Digmary, a big Puerto Rico conclusion. Thank you for joining us for this Clean Talk recording and podcast. Guys, we have all sorts of other material for you to take a look at on the Clean Talk website. So as we sign off here, as our leader, Bradley Witchers likes to say, this has been the Clean Talk podcast. We'll remind you at this point, keep it clean.